Remember when we were in the throes of COVID and the only good thing in our life was Squid Game? That may sound absurd since the show is pretty messed up, but who can blame us? It's simply that captivating. With that, we have brought some deets on the show that we'd like to spill. But before we proceed any further, be warned, there are many spoilers ahead. First off, here's what we know about Jung-Jae's reaction to real-life Squid Game recreations. A little birdie told us that the original star is completely unbothered about fan recreations of Squid Game's lethal contests. The show depicted its characters fighting for survival as a mysterious corporation ran them through a series of sudden death contests loosely based on street games played by Korean children, following a crew of South Koreans desperate to earn a little money in the midst of a financial crisis. Following the success of the show, fans began recreating these lethal games. Is any of us really surprised? Some thought the recreations were offensive because the show was about economic oppression and capitalism's failures, which forced citizens to turn against one another for survival. Lee, who played the lead character Sung Gi-hun in Squid Game, has a different perspective. In an interview with GQ, the breakout actor discusses the nature of the show's fandom and whether fandom is an endorsement of the show's content. He believes Squid Game isn't solely intended to send a social message to society. It is intended to convey dreams and hopes to the audience. And of course, while it was a fun television show that helped us ask deep questions, it was simply entertainment at the end of the day. Can't argue with that. Now, while we're on the topic of Squid Game, our loyal soldiers gave us some pretty solid details of Season 2. Coming up, here's everything we know about it. Season 1 of Squid Game saw Lee's Sung Gi-hun escape the games and return to the real world, where it was implied that he would seek revenge. Despite Gi-hun's unresolved arc, the show took great care in Season 1 to tie up most of its loose ends. Hwang Dong-hyuk, the show's director, writer, and producer, has stated that he had no idea a Season 2 was possible, and that, as a result, he made rash decisions about who would survive Squid Game Season 1. Still, a few characters from the first season have returned to reprise their roles, including the frontman, played by Lee Byung-hun, and the man in the suit, aka Gong-yoo. Season 1 of Squid Game was a bloodbath. As a result, Season 2 will almost certainly feature the introduction of a slew of new characters. A good possibility for Squid Game Season 2 is depictions of various versions of the dangerous challenges worldwide. The Old Man, aka Oh Young-soo, is one Squid Game character who is unlikely to return. Young-soo's character died in Season 1, and while this hasn't stopped shows from bringing characters back in subsequent seasons in the past, Young-soo's return is now even more unlikely due to a recent indictment on sexual misconduct charges. Now that's a whole other can of worms that will open some other day. Next on our radar, what's this about the Squid Game universe being a bigger risk than Netflix realizes? With the announcement that Squid Game will get a Season 2, Netflix executives are now referring to a Squid Game universe, which is a pretty risky move, at least in terms of creativity. To be sure, Squid Game Season 1 was an unprecedented success for the streaming service, easily capturing the title of the most viewed Netflix original show of all time with 1.6 billion hours watched. At the same time, the series may not be able to go as far as Netflix believes it can. Because of its mass popularity and cliffhanger ending, Squid Game fans have been speculating about what the show might do in Season 2 since the first season aired. While some more outlandish theories, such as, say, survival Biox in Squid Game Season 2, have been debunked, others, such as Seung Gi Darth Hun Vader transformation, have been confirmed by Hwang. Yup, you heard us right. With a few good lingering questions left unanswered following Squid Game Season 1, such as the frontman's backstory, fueled by some meaningful teases from the show's creator and stars, it appears that the officially confirmed Season 2 will have decent material to work with. It's alarming to say the least, because there seems to be a suggestion of a broader Squid Game universe with additional content. Now, let's learn more about this. While the success of Season 1 is based on the game's shock and novelty, too many spin-offs, prequels, and/or sequels get the very real real risk of becoming too repetitive and running the franchise into the ground. The frontman reveal, the old man twist, and Gi-hun's final decision not to board the plane are all major plot twists in Squid Game Season 1. While these moments add complexity and depth to the main story, they may not be able to stand alone as spin-off concepts within the Squid Game universe. A frontman prequel would require rehashing the games to show his rise to power, which would be decidedly unoriginal. A similar project telling the story of an elderly man might not have enough drama to keep viewers interested, while Gi-hun's crusade against the games provides a good foundation for Season 2's plot. Squid Game will still need to find ways to keep its next episodes fresh and surprising, rather than simply jumping into a predictable Season 2 villain arc for Gi-hun without proper development. To sum it up, most of the show's success is due to how well it tells a self-contained story over the course of its original 9 episodes. Season 2 should be able to build on the series' success and signature dark vibes while still forging its unique path. In terms of the Squid Game universe, Netflix may be counting its chickens too soon, at least if we have anything to say about it. It's time to wrap up this conversation with a fan theory, but it's not just any theory, because the director debunked this one, and the original turned out to be even darker. The Korean thriller Squid Game, about desperate players competing in a deadly series of games for millions of dollars, was a surprise hit for Netflix. In its first month, the series reached over 142 million subscriber households, making it Netflix's most streamed show ever. The series completely dominated home viewing, with Netflix subscribers watching Squid Game for more than 3 billion minutes in its second week, from September 27th to October 3rd. Squid Game director Hwang Dong-hyuk recently confirmed that Season 2 of the series is in the works. Now, we all know a recruiter who actor Gong-yoo plays offers players the chance to win money by playing dachi in Squid Game. Players take turns throwing red or blue tiles to the ground and flipping over the tile of the opposing player. Before the match, the recruiter gave his recruits the option of wearing red or blue. Viewers of Squid Game theorized that the choice indicated their role in the lethal games. If they chose red, they would become one of the guards, who are always dressed in red. If they chose blue, they would become a player in the game instead. But here's the thing, the theory about red and blue tiles is incorrect, and the correct explanation is even more disturbing. In an interview with Chosen Media, the Squid Game director shot down the idea, giving viewers credit for allegedly being more creative than him. Finally, let's hear the original theory. According to the director, the recruiter was simply someone who facilitated the lethal games, and the red and blue game was a reference to a folktale. In the folktale, Akamanto, a ghost in a bathroom, offers people red or blue tissue paper, and there is no right or wrong answer. The Squid Game players are killed regardless of their choice. Squid Game becomes even darker as a result of the revelation. The fan theory was more optimistic, allowing players to choose their fate and possibly survive the games as a guard. And with the guards all wearing red and the players mostly wearing blue or green, the theory fits almost perfectly. And yet, the explanation that the red and blue tile game was inspired by folktales such as Akamanto shows that players had no chance. They are almost certainly signing up for death by participating in the games. There are no alternatives. The players will die whether they are red or blue. Can it get more disturbing than that? We think not. There is, however, one way out of the games. Don't play. Sung Gi-hun, aka Lee Jung-Jae, spots the recruiter and scares him away from a potential victim in the Squid Game finale. And that is truly the only way out. As in Akamanto, the only way to escape the spirit is to avoid or flee its games. Perhaps Gi-hun scaring away the recruiter is symbolic. Gi-hun, as the only true player to survive the games depicted in Squid Game, could be the one to bring it all down. That's a wrap. Let us know what you think of the real-life Squid Game recreations in the comments. Hit like, press that bell icon for updates, and click that subscribe button because we will be back with another video. Bye!